So let's take a look at the crossbow that Outdoor Life rated not only the best, but the most accurate crossbow of 2025. The TenPoint Turbo X. Let's unbox it, build it, and test it and see if we agree with Outdoor Life. And stay tuned until the end. We'll take a peek at a couple of the crossbows that the Turbo X beat out and why. Next on Trinity Wild. Hey everybody, thank you all for joining us today. So let's go ahead and get this Turbo X unboxed, see what it looks like, and see what it takes to build it. Here's what we got. Of course, manual as always. Sticker, gotta have a sticker. This is a Rangemaster scope. We're gonna come back to that in a second. You got your quiver bracket, quiver, 3 bolts. These are gonna be the Pro Elite bolts. They do come with field points already. And there's your crossbow, the Turbo X. We'll go through all the features on the Turbo X here in just a second, but that's it. I tell you what, we've unboxed and built a whole lot of crossbows on this channel. I don't know that it gets much easier than that right there. Let's get our quiver bracket on, our scope on, and take it for a test run. All right, there's your quiver bracket. So all we're gonna do is loosen that. It doesn't slide over because there's a ridge right here, so you'll want to loosen it all the way out. There we go. Tighten that down. Quiver goes in. You see the little triangle on the bracket, so you're just going to push down, slide it in, and there it is. So you can see how they kind of go off at an angle. That's what you want. There we go. All right, let's turn over to the scope now. And one of the first things you're going to notice when you take your scope out of the box, the rings are already mounted. What that tells you is this thing is already what they call bore-sighted. I've mounted a lot of these scopes on, and that's pretty well true. Left and right's going to be almost on. So these are already loosened. What I'm going to count back is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that seems to be pretty good for my own eye relief right there. And then we're just going to tighten those down. We're going to make sure it bolts at the right tolerance. So I'm going to get a torque wrench and make sure, because you can see it moves just a little. So we're going to tighten that down just right for us before we start shooting. All right, so there's the Turbo X. I gotta say, if you're one of those people that are probably gonna order one of these on Amazon and have it shipped to your house and you're gonna have to deal with it, that's another check mark in the plus column for the Turbo X. Ease of assembly, because that's just about as easy as one we've ever put together here on this channel. Now let's look at operation. Let's walk through how to cock and decock the crossbow. First thing we wanna look at is the trigger box release, that little catch right there. If you look underneath, see how that drops down? That's what's going to release your trigger box down to the string. So let's show you how that looks. So we want to get it on the floor. Again, here's your trigger release. So I'm going to push that down, and that's going to lower. It's going to allow me to lower all the way to the string. And you're going to hear it click. There we go. Crank handle is going to be in the handle of the crossbow. Break that out, lock that in. It's got a little detent, so you're going to push that button in and then slide it in. Now we're going to begin to crank. So what we want to do is listen. Now at any time I can take my hand off, don't have to worry about it dropping. I'm going to come all the way back, and as it comes back into the trigger, you're going to be listening for a click, and watch as that release button will jump. So as I turn, try to get it to where you can see that when that happens. So as it comes back, you'll listen. There it is. You see it jump a little bit. When you hear that click, stop. Do not crank anymore. Now, here's the important part. Now that it's cocked, I'm going to take the crank handle and back wind it one time. Take the handle out. Now you'll see there's a little plastic button right here. This just holds the gear still. All I'm going to do is put my hand under there, hold that button down, and then unscrew. That's the brake. All I'm doing is turning it back. It may turn a half a turn. That's about as far as it'll go. And we're good to go. From that point, we'll load the crossbow and shoot. We're going to take our bolt. Notice we have 2 greens and a white. The odd feather is going to go down. When I'm loading my crossbow, I want to make sure that my fingers stay in front of the 2 axles. That's where the string's going to end up. As long as my hand stays in front of that, I'm pretty safe. If I'm loading my bolt here and something bad were to happen, that string's going to take the tips of my fingers off. I want to make sure to keep my hands in front. So you can see here how I'm pushing it in. I want to make sure it's locked in. I like to double check, and then I'm going to look and make sure it's here too. And from here, we're ready to shoot. We're going to put it on fire. And again, I want to show you this two-stage trigger. So what you'll do is you'll take up the slack. That's when it's ready to fire. So when you slide that trigger back to the back, it's ready. It's almost like glass breaking when you shoot. So as we pull that trigger back, and then we fire. And yes, that went into a target, not the wall. Or we may not shoot. We may just decock the crossbow. Let me show you how to do that. All you're going to do is reverse. Now remember, we took the brake off. I've got to take the slack back up, and again, you'll be watching for that little trigger to get to the point I can push it down. See that? Now I can begin to lower the trigger box. And again, I can stop at any time, take my hand off the handle, lower the trigger box all the way down to the bottom until there's just a little bit of slack in that tether, and that's good. We can leave it just like that for our next hunt. We've unboxed, we've built, we've gone through the operation. Let's take it out to the range, aka my backyard, get it sighted in, run it through a chronograph, and see what all the fuss is about. I just made this mistake for the third time today, and it's a very easy mistake to make, and I promise you, you're gonna make this same mistake too while you're sighting in, at some point while you're shooting the crossbow. Let me show you what I did. Let me show you how to fix it. Remember when we were going through operation, and I said when your trigger box comes all the way back and you hear it click, stop. Then what are you supposed to do? Backwind. That's what I forgot to do. If you forget to backwind and put your finger on the button and loosen the brake, here's what happens. Nothing. When I push the release button down, the trigger box doesn't drop. But it's super easy to fix. Just grab your crank handle, put it in, and do the exact thing you forgot to do. Backwind, take the handle out, hold the button down, and loosen the brake. And now, when I push the release button, it drops all the way to the string. So after a few adjustments, let's see what we get at 20. And at 30, huh, what happened there? Could have been me. Let's try it again. Let's go low right, and just in case this is still off. Wow, okay. Well, we were on at 20, now at 30, we were way high. So we're gonna have to go back and calibrate this again. Well, this one's on me again. But this shows you, you're dealing with real-time stuff, real-world activities here. So what did the little card say? 415, right? What did the box say? Up to 410. What did our chronograph say? 425. I look down at the scope, we're set at 410. Whose fault is that? Well, that's my fault. So let's put the scope on 425 and let's see if that fixed the issue that well, not we, but me. Let's see if that fixes the issue that me just had. Let's just fling it at 30 and see what happens. Aim for the center this time in case we're off a little bit. And 30. Well, I don't know that we get much better than that. Let's go ahead and try 40 now. I have to push my target back into the woods to get past 30, so let's try 40. And I'm gonna go ahead and aim center, just so in case at this distance we have a little discrepancy, we're gonna be all right. 40. Okay. A little right. Still a dead deer. Let's try 40 again. Make a little click on the scope. I'm comfortable shooting 50 at that range though. Even with that little tick right, I'm comfortable shooting at 50. So let's go ahead and go to 50. I'm gonna shoot at the same circle, but
I highly recommend shooting at different dots, because if you're shooting at the same circle with a precision crossbow, you're going to end up busting nocks and busting arrows, and you may not even know you did it. So we're at 50 yards now. Yep, pulled it right back to the left.
"40 to 50, that's a circle within my fingers. I can certainly live with that."
Now before we wrap up, I want to show you the results of the test that Outdoor Life did that caused them to pick the Turbo X as one of the best crossbows of 2025. And of course, TenPoint's got those results posted on their website. You can go check that out. But let's take a look at it right quick, because I think you're going to be surprised. I certainly was. So what the test was 4 groups of 3 shots each, so an average of 12 shots. And the Turbo X did a 1.23 inch group average out of those 12. That's an 1.25 inch average at 50 yards. That's crazy. But here's what I want you to look at. Check out what it was up against. The TenPoint TX28, the Raven R70, Raven LR, the Excalibur Hybrid X. I've got videos on both of those if you want to go check those out. The TX28 2.41. You got 237 for the 470, 222 on the Invader, 218 on the Barnett, 191. Check that out, 1.23. But here's the key. Look at the price. The Raven LR, you've got $25.50, Excalibur $2,200, TenPoint Turbo X $13.50. So I'm getting an 1.25 inch group at 415 feet per second for over $1,000 less on the Raven LR and almost $1,000 less on the Excalibur Hybrid. So not just the fact that you're getting an 1.25 inch group, but that cost is significant. Now, you can also look down here, the Barnett, the Wicked Ridge, all did well as well for under $1,000. I don't know though, TenPoint, you've got name recognition, you've got great customer service, you've also got a good warranty. I don't know, I can kind of see now why Outdoor Life picked that as #1. Well, there you go, the TenPoint Turbo X. And I may have to go along with Outdoor Life. This may be one of the best buys in the whole crossbow industry. Now, anything you saw us use in our video today, I have links in the description below so you can go click on those. And if you do decide to purchase something, we'll get a little bit of a commission, and that'll help out our channel as well. We really appreciate that. If you got some value out of the video today, hit that like button for us and then subscribe to the channel. Doesn't cost anything. Or maybe share this video with a friend that is looking for a new crossbow and has said, hey, I don't want to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a crossbow. This may be the one for them. Hey, thanks again for hanging out with me today. This is the part where I usually say, let's go outside and get wild. I've been outside long enough. I'm hot. I'm going to go inside and get some tea. We'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care and God bless.